And we are back, folks, for another edition of Behind the Uniform Inside Recruiting Style, as we are sitting down with one of Michigan's top prospects. He has been to Michigan now 5 times, and this latest visit is less than 2 weeks after his official. So back in Ann Arbor again to get one last look before he makes his decision, likely next month. Still has visits on the docket, a lot going on in the life of Jordan Shipp, Charlotte Providence Day wideout. Yes, Jordan, how you doing?
I'm good. Happy to be here. You know, it's always good to be back.
Yeah, man.
It's more time up here.
Yeah, that is definitely. I said there's a lot going on for you. You got your off-season regimen with your team. Mm-hmm. You're trying to take visits. I wonder, does that influence your decision timeline? Are you definitely going to try to get it out of the way before the season starts?
Oh, yeah, for sure. I definitely want to have it done a couple weeks before the season so we can just fully lock in on the season.
So, obviously, inquiring minds want to know, you just took your official to Michigan. Mm-hmm. That was your 4th stop here, so you've seen a lot.
Yes, sir.
What brought you back to Ann Arbor?
Of course, you know, 2 of my brothers are up here, Jaden and Jaden, taking their official up here, and just got to hang out with them some more, see some more of the offense, just chill around the school some more, just get a better vibe with the school.
So you were able to take a visit without them, and I wonder, was there any significance to that for you, experiencing Michigan without them here?
Yeah, I would say I wanted to do that because, you know, anything is fun when you got 2 of your best friends. So I just wanted to see, because I've only been here with them, so I wanted to see what it'd be like being here without them.
Gotcha. All right, so you've been to NC State on an official now, right? You got North Carolina coming up, Michigan. You got any other officials that you've taken or will take?
No, sir. I think that's going to be the 3.
That's going to be the 3. All right. So let's go back to the NC State visit.
Mm-hmm.
You know, take me through that from beginning to end. What stood out to you the most about your time down there?
I'll say what stood out the most is really the offense. They got a real explosive offense with the new offensive coordinator they brought in, and me being able to connect with a lot of the players for them. I got a lot of friends up there. You know, KC's up there. My guy Juice, Julian Gray, a lot of people from Charlotte. So being able to connect with a lot of them, and you know, the position coach, Coach Joker, is a great person. Somebody, he knows the football a lot, but he's also somebody you can just look up to and have a great role model.
Mm-hmm. So what's your connection like with Coach Phillips?
It's a good connection. You know, he has a good connection with my parents and everything. Talk to him a lot, and been able to build it over the years.
All right, so let's talk about North Carolina. I know you haven't taken that visit yet, but you've been there a lot. What stands out to you the most about the Tar Heels?
Their offense, of course. You know, they have a real explosive offense. The position coach as well, Coach Galloway, got to spend a lot of time with him. And really, you know, his son go to our school now, Griff, you know, got to spend some time with him and spend some time with his family. So really just the offense, you know, it's a great school. It's not far from home, and that's really it.
So with both of those offenses, you mentioned explosive. And whenever I hear people say that, most of the time they're talking about air attack, like passing attack. They don't really necessarily associate it as much with the run game.
Yes, sir.
So compare those 2 offenses to Michigan, because I imagine those schools, that's one of their pitches, like contrast what we do to what you're like. That's what they do, right?
Yes,
look
sir.
at what we do, look at what Michigan does. So how do you process that? How do you compare the 2 styles of offense?
I would say, you know, of course it's going to be a little bit of adjustment, but I don't think it's nothing that I couldn't do. And I'll say another thing about Michigan is it's great for just off the field as well. They have a lot of great things. You know, Coach Herb, great person, you know, the great nutrition lady and everything. And just they have great stuff on the field, but of course that stuff you can get off the field is amazing here too.
So I know you said after the official, one of the things that you wanted to see, other than obviously being here without Channing and Jaden, was you wanted to get a feel for how the offense was going to evolve, or if it was going to evolve any. And it felt like you got some answers to that,
I did,
right?
for sure. You know, they kept saying that, of course, they're going to have to pass the ball to get over that hump to get that natty. So they just want receivers to be able to go make plays for them to do that.
So the connection with Coach Bell seems like it's been building over time.
Yes, sir.
So tell me about that. Tell me about your vibe with him.
I would say I first met him, of course, last year. He came up to the school and everything, and it's just ever since then, everything we've been talking a lot. We kind of clicked instantly. You know, he played with Channing's dad, Coach Goodwin, played with him, so of course he's somebody highly respected.
So as you kind of come down the home stretch here, I'm wondering what is going to be the criteria that puts one school over top? Because you like all the coaches.
Yeah, I do.
Like you basically have a real good vibe with all of them. You feel like you could thrive in any of the offenses. You got friends at all the schools. You say distance won't be a factor. So you got a lot that is similar as far as what you like. The thing that's different, distance, you ruled that out. So what are you going to compare and contrast at the end of the day to make you go to the spot you want to go to?
That's the tough part. That's kind of why it's been delayed for how long it's been. But really just prayer, talk with my family, and just we'll just see what happens.
So your dad has been through this process. Rather than talk about what he's saying about these specific schools, I'm curious what kind of advice, what kind of guidance he's giving you about how to arrive at the decision. What is he telling you to look for? What is he telling you to highlight?
He's been telling me just look outside of football. Put football to the side. Never go to somewhere where I can have fun and have a great vibe if I couldn't play football ever again. That's what I've been hearing a lot from him, and he just let me know that he's gonna be proud wherever I go.
So what about mom, man? I mean, if dad is, obviously he's gonna be a little, because he was a college football player, is gonna be a little more honed in, I imagine, on that. What about mom? What is she emphasizing the most?
She just let me know that she wants me to just have a good time. She's let me know that she's very proud of me, happy with what I've been able to accomplish, and she just wants me to go somewhere where I feel safe and have a good time at.
So have they expressed, do you feel like they have any preferences in this? Not that they would make you go where they like, but do you feel like talking to them they have a preference?
Not really. They've both done a good job not being biased towards anything or anything, or if they have, keeping it away from me. I haven't really seen anything like that, so I would say no.
All right. So I know Channing and Jaden have a bias.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Right. So how hard in the paint do they go with you, man, or do they just take it easy on you?
I would say Jaden's the hardest. No, I'm gonna be honest with you. I would say, surprisingly, Jaden's sisters are the hardest. Maya and Michaela, they are definitely on me the hardest about it, especially Maya. That's little sister. She's really hard on me about it. Of course, Jaden, he was talking about the Elite 11, trying to get me to lock in this weekend. And, Chan, that's just playing with my best friend. We've been playing together since freshman year, so they've been on me pretty hard.
How big of a factor is that, Jordan? Do you have to focus on make it not be a factor, or do you let it? Do you incorporate that into your process?
It's kind of a mix of both because, of course, that's those two people that, we're going to be close regardless. No matter, I could go to Oregon on the other side of the country and we'll still be close forever. So that's something where, of course, I want to play with them, but at the end of the day, I still kind of got to focus on doing what's best for me.
Yeah, man, it makes me think about talking to you, and obviously Chris Peel was part of the crew, and when he went to UGA, were you surprised that because I kind of felt like, Chan's been leaning Michigan's way for a while. Obviously, Jaden said he had been for a while. So he had to know that when he picked Georgia. Were you surprised that he kind of went right when they went left?
I wasn't really surprised. Chris has always been somebody that does everything not really on his own, but Chris has his own way of thinking and everything. And of course, we let him know we're going to support him. Before he committed, he let us know a couple of weeks before, so we kind of already had the idea, and we didn't really put any pressure on him because, of course, we didn't really know where we were going to go, so we weren't going to tell him to go somewhere that we not end up follow through with it. So we just let him know we were there to support him, and we took a lot of visits with him, just, got to hang out with him, and proud of him, happy for him.
I know you're proud and happy for Jaden. His process is interesting because he's 5-star quarterback. He's a top 30 player in the country now. At one point, he talks about being the number 1 quarterback in the country at one point in time, and now he's like number 3.
Yes, I'll pay attention. We all know who's number 1.
Right. But I mean, at the end of the day, it's not a huge. It's not like he slid out the top 5.
Jaden's gonna be a dog wherever he goes.
But it's very, very clear. He said something, and you know him well. He said something at the Elite 11. Some guys come and they're looking to take out, fun. They're looking to take out, getting some knowledge, applying some things to their games. And I know he wanted to get those things, but they asked him what he was looking for most. He said respect.
Yes.
I'm looking for some respect out of this.
He deserves it. I feel like, of course, me and Jaden have grown close, and I would say this even if we weren't close. I feel like just seeing him work, there's a lot, people drag his name a lot, and of course I don't really like it, but Jaden's a really hard worker for sure. He deserves everything he's got. I know people say he has stuff handed to him. Jaden deserves everything he has. It's a lot of stuff that goes behind the scenes, like, Jaden, Chen, we've been out 10 o'clock at night throwing routes with his trainer and stuff. Like, there's a lot of stuff that goes into it that people don't see because he's not a big social media guy. He's not going to post every workout he does, but Jaden's a very hard worker. I would say Jaden is probably one of the hardest workers I've ever been around.
Yeah, so sounds like you guys have noticed. You said people drag his name a lot. I know they drag it some. You say they drag it a lot.
It's a lot. It's a lot. I've seen a lot of stuff on Twitter, like, about the Elite 11 stuff, like a bunch of drill-based stuff. Jaden, put Jaden in the game and watch him go to work. That's how I feel about it.
So break down his game. You've caught his passes. What are his strengths? What does he do well when you as a receiver? What stands out to you about Jaden as a quarterback?
I would say everybody knows I like making the big catches and traffic and everything, but I'll say the best thing about Jaden is he does a great job of putting it where only I could get it. So, of course, like, people say he's not accurate, but me and Jaden work on throwing high balls where only I can get it, high back shoulder balls, and it might not look accurate, but Jaden knows he's put it in a place where only I can get it. So I'll say that's probably, his accuracy is one of the best things. That, other than him being such a hard worker, that's one of the things I would say goes under.
You know, I was watching you guys last year, at least to me, as explosive as you guys were, it felt like you guys had instant chemistry. But talking to you, it seems like that was something that grew over the course of the year. Is that right?
Yeah, we had. So of course he was at PD before, and he came back between. It was like the December, coming off of Christmas break, and we had our first workout together, and everything was clicking. We were doing good, and then we started just keep building more and more chemistry, just hanging out more, and then before you know it, that's twin. That's what it is.
So what kind of leader is Jaden?
Huge leader. He very vocal about everything. He lets you know, like, if people are slacking, he'll let you know about it. Even us, like, if we're not going full speed, he'll let you know. So he's definitely a vocal leader on our team. Most definitely be a captain this year for sure.
All right. Well, I mean, but that's you too, right? I mean, because you're a captain,
yes,
right?
Sir.
So I always wonder, with guys who are leaders, what is their style? Are you more of a vocal guy, or are you more of a lead by example guy?
I would say we both kind of do it both ways. Like, we're not gonna like pick on nobody or anything, but of course we're gonna work hard because that's what's gotten us where we are now. But then again, if we see somebody slack, we're also gonna let them know, like, that's not the culture we have at PD. We need to like start picking it up, and because everything at Providence Day is culture based. We built a great hard working culture that's gotten us to where we are now, and has put in a lot of people in college. So. I feel like a lot of the younger boys are starting to see it and respect it more and more, and the more we talk about it, the better we're going to be.
All right, so another thing with PD, you guys, private school, you can have NIL opportunities, and obviously we know some are coming Jaden's way. Is that something you guys talk about in the locker room, NIL and opportunities that are coming?
We don't worry about none of that. We're focused on getting a state championship. We're not worried about, if Jaden gets a big NIL deal, cool, we're happy for him and everything, but he doesn't talk about that stuff either. That's not what we're focused on. So
for you, we talk about all the factors in your decision. How does NIL factor into your thought process?
Of course, making money is cool and everything, but I want to go somewhere where I can be developed so I can make the big money later on. So I wouldn't say NIL is a big, huge factor or anything, but I just want to go somewhere where I know I can be developed and I can get to that second NFL contract.
Did you get a chance while you were here to hear about this new program that Michigan has, Empower? So what did you think about that? Did your parents talk about it?
Yeah, I liked it. I liked how they're making you earn it. Like, of course you get, but at the same time you're earning, you're learning things that you're learning life skills that you're gonna need. So I like that. Yeah.
Speaking of life skills, I know Jaden works with Morgan Stanley. I know you work with Morgan Stanley. Kind of give me an idea of what your takeaways are from that experience as you started getting NIL space.
Yes, sir.
Started to make a little money. Sounds like you got to start getting your mind right or wrapped around that really early in the game.
I would say the biggest thing that comes to that is maturity. Just knowing that I can have this money, but I'm not going to go buy a $10,000 pair of shoes. What I would do, a lot of smarter stuff, budgeting and stuff like that, invest in some of it and stuff, and saving it.
Okay. All right, so let's round this out. You got the North Carolina visit coming up. Is there any chance that you make any more stops at any more schools before you make a decision?
Nah, no. I'm pretty locked in on my final three.
All right, so you locked in on your final three. Are you locked in on a decision date?
I'm not yet. I'm thinking mid-July. I don't have an exact date yet, but I'm thinking sometime mid-July for sure.
Okay.
It definitely won't go into August. It'll definitely be before we leave for team camp.
So what is your deliberation? Have you thought about what your deliberation process is going to be like? I mean, is it just going to be you sitting by yourself, kind of going through the pros and cons of schools? Do you sit down with your family? Do you incorporate your friends? What is the deliberation process going to be like?
I would say kind of having just like a circle of people I talk to a lot. You know, I got my parents, of course, you know, still talking to Chan and Jaden. They're first, I want to give a shout out to them. Of course, they've been letting me know that they want me to come here, but they've also let me know that wherever I go, they're going to be very happy for me. They've been helping me step by step. So I want to give a big shout out to them for that. And of course, talk with them. I got other friends on the side that I talk to a lot, been close with some of them since younger age. So just being able to talk with them and really just prayer too as well.
So, man, you know me, I always ask you, we've been talking for a while, I ask you the blunt question, do you have a leader at this point?
I don't. I feel like everything is just kind of still side by side, and really it's just going to come down to really just talking to my parents and prayer, to be honest with you.
I got you. All right. Well, hey, listen, it has been fun to kind of watch the process unfold. Last, certainly not least, I'd be remiss if I didn't ask you about PD next season. You guys are coming off a state title. Obviously, fantastic seasons all the way around, but you lose some key pieces.
Yes, sir.
So what about your senior season at PD? What should we expect?
Just expect another state championship. Of course, we lost some pieces, but also we got some, and we had some people that weren't really like, for instance, you know, everybody knows about Chris, but nobody knows about Braxton. So we have some people that's gonna step up and make plays that were making plays last year, but went kind of like under the radar because we had bigger names out there. So we're for sure gonna be like, you know, we lost one of our senior receivers, but we got another freshman receiver that's gonna step up pretty big this year.
All right, so you got some schools around you that feel like they're gonna have something to say about that. So Raven Gap, that's always a game, right?
That's gonna be a great game. I seen someone on Twitter that got like 15 new players. So that's always between us and Raven Gap. That's always a great game, and of course us and the school down the street. That's always a good game too.
Yeah, I don't even say that. That's what Jaden said. He's like, we're Sardis Road. We're the school on Sardis Road.
Yeah, of course, highly respect for them. They got some great players over there. But, you know, I would say one thing about that rivalry is, of course, you see each other, you say whatever. But once that week comes, there's no Charlotte Christian that flies. And I'm pretty sure it's the same for them.
Yeah, because it's literally like 2 minutes away, right?
Yes, like you can walk just right down the street. And of course, you know, we're close, like, you know, me and Shannon, we're close with Micah Gilbert over there. You know, that's my guy. Bryce Young over there, my cousins over there. But once that week hits, it's wraps. You're 100% locked in on, and there's no, especially once you get between the lines, there's no friends.
Yeah, and they're going to school. They're both going to Notre Dame. And Micah had a hell of a game against you guys.
He did.
Last year. What do you remember about that game?
I remember talking to him after the game, and it was like, that's not happening again.
They couldn't. He was hurt, right?
Yeah, that's unfortunate, of course. Of course, he messed up his finger. That was unfortunate. You know, let him know, because you know my parents are close with his parents and everything. So, because you know we're all the top players in the Carolinas. We're all pretty tight. We all talk, no matter what school we go to. So that was fun to play against. So, you know, took pictures after the game and stuff. But it was a good experience to play against him. But he did have a great game. Shout out Mike. He had a good game, and just happy we did it when it mattered.
Yeah. And so I wonder, is that something that you want? Like, you know, the opportunity to play them at full strength, like him there, your best shot. Because when they were full strength, I think they came back from 3 touchdowns twice in that game, didn't they?
They did. We kind of shot ourselves in the foot. You know, of course they played well, but we shot ourselves in the foot a lot too.
All right, and my last one about Jordan Shipp. Where are you better this year, man? I mean, you're always working to improve. I'm sure there were some things that you said I need to get better at this in the offseason. Where will you be better as a senior?
Don't want to say too much, but I just ran track last year. They're doing a lot of speed training stuff, so they can expect a lot faster Jordan Shipp this year for sure.
Gotcha. Well, Jordan, man, appreciate your time. Good luck the rest of the way.
Thank you.
All right. Now, to do it for another edition of Behind the Uniform, I always say, if you like what we do, there's a way for you to show love. You can like the videos on YouTube. You can subscribe to the channel. That way, whenever we put up a new one, you'll know you'll get a notification as to when it was posted. Of course, if you watch us or listen to us on the podcast page, like the podcast, subscribe to the channel, tell all your friends about it. And then, of course, last but not least, over on 24/7 Sports, over on the Michigan Insider, that's where it really all goes down. Football, basketball, and recruiting. The entire 24/7 Sports network you'll have access to, and it's going for 50% off right now, so you can't beat that. And then when you get to your full price, it'll also include Paramount Plus. Great bang for your buck. So again, folks, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time on another edition of Behind the Uniform.